Here's the things we did to make Zobni successful so far. The first thing is very simple, and that is we survey our users a lot. One huge advantage of having a free product is that you get lots of users and you have users to survey. I don't know how we would have gotten this information about users without having this huge free user base to ask questions to. And I wanted to put up two kind of esoteric examples of what we learned from surveying. One thing we learned was within IT, they want to deploy the software through Active Directory. And only the IT people even care about this. So what we did is hid inside of our terms of service a little link that said, want to deploy this to your company? It's illegal to deploy the free product. You have to buy Zobni Enterprise. And that's where all the leads for Zobni Enterprise started. It was our little test bed. Those are the only guys that were looking at our terms of service were the IT guys, and that started the leads off for Zobni Enterprise right there. One of the other things we learned when we surveyed our users was over 50% of our users were running Zobni on more than one machine. So we came out with our product as a $29.95 one-time fee product, pretty cheap. And then these hardcore users that had no qualms about adding it on other computers, we charged them $9.95 for each additional computer. That actually increased our average revenue per sale by about 15%. Now here's another great thing that we learned, and there was a little bit of fighting inside the company whenever I pushed this, and that is you want to start with more in-product upsells than you're comfortable with. And when I talk about upsells in these next couple slides, what I'm talking about is those prompts inside the product where it says, oh, this is a premium feature, you have to buy premium. And then after that comes an upsell message that says why you should buy it, and there's a credit card form. So we started with over 14 of these. And I actually learned from Todd Sacerdoti, who started or was head of revenue at Plaxo. They had a hard time converting people to their premium product, and it's because they had so few prompts inside of their product to get people to upsell. So we put 14 in to start with. And what we're able to do is start determining what things people are clicking on, what's converting, and then we're able to improve or remove those. Here's actually a screenshot of a big, ugly poster board that I put up on the wall in the office. I made it ugly on purpose, and I wanted the whole company focused on each of these upsells, what was converting, what wasn't, how we could improve them, and actually made it a competition in the company where I gave away a $250 gift certificate to the person that could order the upsells in terms of which ones converted highest. Serendipitously, our interaction designer is actually the one that won. He got the first 5 in a row correct. He did better than I did. Another thing we learned was you have to tease the users with data. You have to show the user what they're missing in your premium product. Otherwise, there's no reason they're going to buy it. Now, I don't want to pick on TechSmith or the product Jing. I love it. I use it all the time. But here's what happens when I take a screenshot. Everything I can do with the free product is right there. The only call to action for me to ever buy a product from them is this big button that says Go Pro, and I have no idea why I'd ever want to click that. Here's an upsell in Zobni. This is in your compose window when you're writing a new email in Outlook. It ends up Outlook sucks at finding old email addresses, and Zobni's really good. And so we tell our users that. Right below here, you'll see the results that Outlook had. Below that, it says what Zobni has. It says Outlook found 2 suggestions. A Zobni Plus search found 28. We don't stop there. That's where we started. We actually went further. Now we actually show you all the other people that show up for the result Charles, and we even show part of their email address, but not enough for you to email them. This thing works very well. Another lesson we learned is you really have to tie the message to the user's action. So if the user tells you he wants apples, don't sell him oranges. Now again, here's another product I love. This is Weebly. It's an easy website creation product. And it's a product I use. I haven't bought the premium version. And I was on the site the other day and I wanted to go add video to my blog. So I clicked on this video button up on the top, and what popped up was their upsell message. And no matter what feature I clicked on in their product, I got the exact same upsell message. Instead, on Zobni, we've taken this further. Let's look at that same upsell inside the product where I've shown them data about what they want. Now I show them an upsell message. Each one of these is customized to what the user clicked on. It shows them this message. It has a big call to action. It says frustrated with Outlook's auto-suggest and search features. And by doing this, we've gotten great conversion rates. Now, obviously, it's like the rule of the land that you have to A/B test. But one thing to point out with freemium, why this is so important, is because in freemium businesses, you're dealing in massive volume. If you're selling 10 enterprise licenses a month, A/B testing is not going to do a lot for you. But if you're seeing millions of users a quarter, A/B testing can move the needle quite a bit. For example, we got 50% improvement in our premium conversion rates by A/B testing both those in-product messages in-product upsells where we showed more data, and those messages that were tied to the specific upsells. So for example, for that auto-suggest feature, behind was the old version, in front was the new version, and this was a 25% improvement. Now, this is a little graphic that I made for people inside of the company to understand where we're acquiring users and why we're buying users in different places. It's an important lesson to learn that not all channels are created equal. You'll find you'll go put a banner ad out and users will convert at 1/100th or 1/150th of the rates an organic user converted to your premium product. But sometimes that can be okay. And it's okay if you're measuring the right other value that you can measure a user on. And those values, I think, split into 4 areas. Is it a really highly engaged user? This is a user that's going to be talking to their friends, using the product all the time. You want users like that. And maybe you're willing to overpay for that type of user. Another one's scale. If you can buy 1 million users, you might be able to do a deal that you wouldn't have been able to do without those users, even if they're not converting to your premium product. Now, down to the bottom left, that's the holy grail, profitable users. If I could spend every marketing dollar on profitable users, I would, but sometimes you simply can't. And on the bottom right, you have virality. If one user is going to get you 2 other users and that first user doesn't convert, I don't care, as long as his friends do. Another lesson we learned, like I said, we spent 3 years with our premium product out there. And when we launched with our free product out there, and when we launched Xobni Plus, our first premium product, our existing users converted poorly, like at 1/5 the rate. And we also found that user conditioning leading up to install actually affects their long-term conversion rate as well. So let's look at 2 screenshots. Here's one landing page that we use. It only talks about our free download. So these users install our product and they see upsells later. Here's another landing page that we use that has both the free product and the premium product. If you look at the users from both groups that installed the free product, the users that came through the second homepage end up converting better because they're conditioned to know that there's a premium product out there. They know the price. They're conditioned to know about it. This was a very surprising lesson to me. And finally, free trial is the freemium business's best friend. I wanted to ask one other question to the audience. How many people in here have read or have not read Predictably Irrational? Every one of you should read it. And this is one huge lesson that I learned from Predictably Irrational, and it works wonders in the freemium business. Dan, the author, talked about a group of Duke students that all wanted to go to the Duke championship game. And tickets were given out on a lottery. So some students didn't get tickets and some students did. Then he went and surveyed the users that got tickets. And he said, what would it take for somebody else to buy your ticket from you? And he negotiated and negotiated with them. He got them down to $2,400. Then he asked the students that didn't get tickets, he said, okay, I might be able to get you some tickets. What's the max you'd be willing to pay to get a ticket? And they said, $140. The groups, for the exact same type of students, they were picked through a lottery, for the exact same experience for going to this championship game, were at a 15x difference in what they were willing to pay for the exact same item. The fear of loss is incredibly powerful. So for some channels that we acquire users through, we start them all on free trials from the beginning because that fear of loss will improve our conversion rates. And so actually, and again, back to our data piece, here's us showing them what they're going to lose at the end of that free trial. So what we show here is with Xobni Free, you'd be able to search 91,000 messages. With Xobni Plus, you can search 123,000. With Xobni Free, you won't see any appointments or tasks. With Xobni Plus, you'll see 1,600. And again, showing this data and showing them what they're going to lose has been really powerful. So as I started, this has been around for a while. Businesses have been doing this. What we are trying to get to is this magic 10-to-1 ratio, hopefully at scale, and maybe eventually we can put Xobni on this list, but only time will tell. Thanks.